mixed results for far-left Democrats in yesterday's primaries. In Florida, Democratic Socialist Angie Nixon won the Democratic primary for Senate against former national security expert Alex Vindman.
Vindman was backed by establishment party leaders, and his campaign raised $16 million. None of it was enough to beat Nixon, who joined the DSA in the middle of her campaign.
We, the hard-working, everyday people of Florida, send a shockwave to the Washington, D.C. establishment.
But far-left challengers coming up short elsewhere on the ballot, unable to unseat Florida Congressman Jared Moskowitz.
That's ABC's Jay O'Brien. The Navy confirming that another Navy ship, this one the USS Benfold, lost power last month. That meant no drinking water, no working toilets, and no air conditioning on board. That follows reports of shortages aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln as well. Meta on trial in California, accused of producing products that are harmful to young people. This is ABC News. Costco is preparing to step into the Medicare market with a new partnership aimed at giving seniors some easy options for their health care.
The wholesale giant is partnering with nonprofit insurer SCAN to bring Medicare Advantage plans to 2 states and a Medicare supplement plan to a 3rd state. The new Medicare plans won't come with a Costco membership thrown in. That isn't allowed under federal rules. The plans will be sold in Costco stores and through traditional channels like insurance agents and websites. Whether or not you qualify for these plans will depend on the final plan design, the approved service area, and the type of plan offered.
ABC's Rebecca Jarvis. Frustration boiling over in Griffith, Indiana.
We've never been out of power for longer than 24 hours, and this has been the worst I've ever seen.
Tom Cerati, one of hundreds who've been without power for a full week now following torrential downpours and flash flooding. Guess what? More rain expected in Indiana today. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
A hearing is now set in effort to recall Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson. More details on that. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. It's a 2-hour drive from Linwood to Renton. That's over an hour delay. So pack your patience on the roads right now. There are several crashes along this corridor. The biggest, though, is on southbound 405 at Northeast 8th over in Bellevue. Both express toll lanes are blocked right now. The left general purpose lane is also blocked. This is a 14-mile backup. It's pretty severe, guys. It's about a 1 hour and 20-minute drive from Linwood to Bellevue. That's a 30-minute delay on southbound 405 from Bellevue to Renton because of a crash near the VMAC. Over on I-5, it's super congested. It's about an hour and 20 from Everett to Linwood. That's your best bet, even though it's faster. All right, this traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Katrina Gashard. The recall effort against Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is moving to court. The hearing is set for Monday, August 31st, 9 a.m. in a King County courtroom. The woman behind the recall effort says this is really about public safety.
One of the things was the Aurora problem. When I talked to some of the people directly involved with the horrible situation there and found out that she had ignored their phone calls, emails, and trying to meet in person for over 6 months. That is appalling.
That's Melinda Jacobson on KIRO News Radio just last week, shortly after filing the petition along with her husband. Now, a judge has to decide whether those allegations are enough to move the recall effort forward. Wilson's office has already pushed back. It said just last week the recall effort does not appear to have merit and said the mayor is focused on making Seattle safer and more affordable. We've reached out again this morning for an updated response. Seattle police are investigating a deadly shooting in First Hill. Officers responded to an apartment in the 900 block of 8th Avenue around 8 last night. They found a man with suspected gunshot wounds and attempted life-saving measures. Seattle fire medics later pronounced him dead at the scene. Homicide detectives are now investigating. Travelers between Seattle and Portland will soon have regular Amtrak service back. Most trains are expected to resume sometime today, with full service returning tomorrow. The route has faced weeks of disruptions following a warehouse fire near Portland and the demolition of a nearby mill structure. Tacoma Soundview Little League steps into the national spotlight today at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. The 12-year-olds are the Northwest Region champs. Coach Dan Hutchins is on the team, and he tells KIRO News Radio's Gee Ursula.
They're taking advantage of the situation. My son was playing ping pong with a Dominican Republic kid yesterday. He said that they're on the same lower level with South Korea and that they're having a great time with them and learning different handshakes.
Soundview faces Southwest region today. First pitch is at noon on ESPN. For your KIRO News Radio forecast, we got some low clouds this morning. Again, another sunshine-filled day. Highs close to 80. Right now, it's about 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Now, we got all kinds of stuff happening today. Happy anniversary to Katrina. Katrina's her wedding anniversary today.
Oh, nice.
9th anniversary. Happy anniversary. And also, Nick is here after a big concert last night. Nick,
Oh, yeah.
How was the concert, man?
It was fantastic. You know, Toto and Christopher Cross were amazing. And Christopher Cross, for 75 years old, he can still bring it. He's got just such a beautiful voice. And there's so many songs people were singing along and, you know, bouncing back and forth. It was a great night. Perfect weather, too, at the amphitheater.
Were you singing?
Oh, yeah. Oh. I was all about Christopher Cross.
I would have been too.
Back the wind.
So you've been singing?
Nick, yes. Sailing, take me away. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now, you are such an old soul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
I was noticing with me and my other friends who were into yacht rock, we were some of the younger people in the audience.
Hey,
still had a great time, though.
Hey, Nick. I would have enjoyed myself, huh?
I think you would have liked Christopher Cross. Yeah.
Complete.
Yeah. All right, Ursula. What we got going on today?
Well, too many of us are speeding these days. I'm taking myself out of it. Remember, I've got a gore point issue, but speeding's not one of my issues. But too many of us are speeding these days, and now there's one city that wants its school zone cameras watching 24/7. Also coming up at 9:30, is 10 over the new speed limit? So we'll have that discussion. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Okay. Another exciting show coming up. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Crime is down across Washington, and not just by a little. The latest annual report from the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs shows every major crime category declined from 2024 to 2025. Violent crime fell nearly 14%. Murders dropped almost 22%. Property crime down 21%, while crimes against people fell about 7%. Unfortunately, property crime is still by far the most common. More than 308,000 of them were reported last year, which works out to about 1 every 2 minutes. The report also continues a broader trend, though. Crime surged during the pandemic, but statewide rates have now been falling for several years. And Governor Ferguson is praising these numbers, even as Washington, continues to have the fewest law enforcement officers per capita in the entire country.
Okay, what I'm going to say is not studied. I can't wait. We're going to have Steve Strand on at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask him about this theory.
Yes, he's with the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs.
So I'm sure there's other contributing factors that the smart experts will come and tell you. But one factor that I believe that is a big part of it is technology. Technology is huge. 30 years ago, someone would probably risk a crime because, hey, nobody will ever see it. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's 4 a.m. Nobody will ever see it. Fast forward to today. We got Ring cameras. We got cell phones. We got dash cams. We got businesses. We got buses that have cameras. We have cameras everywhere. The idea we talked about, hey, maybe extreme punishments deterring people from crime, and some believe that, some don't. That's fair. But I would say absolute identification, you actually being identified, they're actually being supporting technology to prove that you committed this crime, has a lot of people like, I don't know. So technology, both with crime being down here, and also technologies also helped with police brutality that had been plaguing our country for a certain amount of time as well.
That is interesting because I think that there are going to be a lot of people, depending on what lens you're going to be looking through, there are going to be a lot of people either taking credit or trying to discredit these numbers. I mean, this is fantastic news, and we should celebrate it while also recognizing that there's still work to do. I mean, if your loved one was one of those who were murdered last year, or your business was trashed by vandals, you're still not feeling good about these numbers. But violent crime actually has fallen in big cities, small towns, places with more police and fewer police, conservative communities, progressive ones. I mean, it's down nationwide. So one of the questions I have is, are we seeing the spike that we saw during the pandemic fading? I mean, is that one of the reasons? But like you said, targeted policing and new technology?
I mean, and by the way, I know a lot of people think, since 2020 and all that. No. This is since 1956. We're seeing rates nationwide. We have not seen this since 1956. Hence the reason why I do believe technology is one of the factors. Notice I'm not saying all of it.
Yep.
I'm just saying one of it since 1956.
Yep. Yes, I absolutely think you're right on that. I think it's a whole combination of things. But the whole idea that Washington has the fewest police officers per capita in the country, this doesn't mean, well, we don't need more officers. We still need more officers. It means policing is part of a much bigger picture. And so I'm kind of looking forward to having that conversation with Steve Strand from this organization that put out this report, because it would be interesting to see what else maybe we're not seeing in the statistics. But I think there's room for all of us to celebrate.
Very brief question for you. Do you believe that most people will believe this data?
I think, again, depending on what lens you look it through.
I look, yes. And the reason why I think most people would believe this, right, is because it's not just Washington. Right now, you go to Baltimore right now, and what's going on with them. That city right now, they are praising everything. I mean, their homicide rate has been like the top in the country for years. They also have seen this trend. So this isn't really just a specific Washington thing. This is a nationwide thing.
Well, right now, a teenager caught illegally carrying a gun in our state can rack up 4 offenses with just a slap on the wrist, like home monitoring. It is not until the 5th conviction that they can face months in juvenile rehabilitation. It's something that we've talked about many times on the show. And the people who have really pushed for this kind of leniency say that incarceration can traumatize young people and disproportionately affects kids of color. But now there is a push to intervene much sooner. Fox 13 reports that State Representative David Hackney wants a 2-strike policy. So after a second gun offense, a juvenile would formally enter the justice system, where judges could require counseling, treatment, supervision, and then, when necessary, detention.
The victims of these violent crimes are also people that live in these communities of color, and that if you want to address violent crime, you have to do so by having a serious intervention. Youth involved in violent crime need an opportunity, right? A timeout, right? Where they have some structure and some accountability, where they're held accountable for their actions. If you don't hold them accountable for their actions, you should expect them to do it again. And yes, incarceration is traumatizing for youth. I don't think anyone wants a youth to be incarcerated, but violent crime is also traumatic for the community, for the victims, not just for the people that suffer it, but the people who witness it, the people that live around it, because they realize it could be them next.
Okay, I'm just going to say again, this is Democratic State Representative David Hackney, who is from the 11th District, which includes Tukwila, Renton, and parts of Kent.
Are you sure that's not G?
I know. I mean, I was like, where have I heard this before?
Hey, no. Here's my opinion. Y'all know what I want to say. Y'all know exactly. Y'all know it sounded just like me. David, if y'all know David, tell David we need him on the show.
Yes.
David Hackney. David Hackney, we want you on the show. Our producer, Chef, has already sent you an invite to come on to the show. I'm asking for you to come on the show. We got to talk to you, not now, but right now. Yeah. We need to talk to you.
It made entirely too much sense.
Way too much. Like, so much sense, we almost ended the show.
Yeah.
Way too much sense being made, David Hackney. Call us.
Yeah, I mean, I still cannot wrap my head around the idea that you have to wait until a 5th conviction for a gun offense for a teenager to actually face some kind of consequence.
Can I just...
It's just a mind boggle.
I know I didn't usually have enough to say on that topic, but because Chef said something early this morning,
Yes.
he was like, hey, the liberal side of me, I thought that was actually a GOP representative trying to score points, to which I looked at Chef and was like, I actually did too.
Yep.
I thought that was a Republican.
Yep.
That was saying
I wouldn't
that.
have been surprised.
I would.
And I still would have had the same thing. This makes way too much sense.
I mean, that's just me showing. Sometimes you do prejudge a topic and stuff like that,
Yes.
and I'm guilty of that.
Yes.
Yeah, too much common
So
sense.
we
right
will
there.
have David Hackney hopefully on our show soon. But I hope other folks in Olympia are listening and give this a no pun intended shot, because I know that this is something the King County prosecutor, they're just trying to get it to 3. Right?
Right.
But to give 5 chances is ludicrous.
I like what he just said. He said 2. All right.
Yes.
One time, you mess up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They better do it again. Oh,
Yes.
wow. Consequences? Ooh.
Yes. I mean, there are some people who, when we talked about this last time, said, how about one time?
Right.
Seattle is desperately in need of more housing, yet, as you know, it can take the city more than a year just to approve the permits to build that housing. Large apartment projects currently spend about 374 days in city-controlled permit review, which is more than twice of Seattle's own 180-day target. Middle housing takes nearly 4 months instead of the 2 months that the city says it should. But now Mayor Katie Wilson is trying to speed that up. So she is going to issue an executive order requiring permitting, utilities, and housing departments to coordinate these approvals while creating a house production task force to look for other barriers that are slowing everything down. If you've been through this anytime in the recent past, you know that permitting process is like wading through molasses.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that Mayor Wilson campaigned on. She promised to make it easier and faster to build more housing across Seattle.
Great job, Mayor. I think that most of us, again, this is common sense. I don't really think this is really political. This is also.
Oh, it is political.
What?
Sorry.
Bureaucracy? Like, no. Like, okay, let's just stay with that lens. If it's political, these are things. Now, we want to keep the safety, that stuff in place. But the delays that happen on purpose in government is exhausting. And we are doing things, right? This should be rules to get things done, not things in place for nothing to get done.
Yes.
And I don't know what side of any type of political coin that you'd be on that is continuing to be okay with bureaucracy that happens in government.
Well, and I would argue that there are many who believe that certain policies, whether it's zoning laws or whether it's just having government intervention, having to go through all these steps, is based on policy that gets in the way of production.
But who would be against streamlining and making sure that it is not as slow as it has been when it comes to permits in the city? Who would be against that?
Not us who want to have things built.
Oh, I didn't. That would be just a tough one. I mean, I would love, maybe you're listening right now. Maybe you could text me and say, gee, here's why I want it to slow down. Maybe I just don't see anybody being against that.
No, I mean, but there are regulations that are put in place that are passed that end up, maybe the intention is not to slow it down, but it absolutely has to do with policies that have been put in place in the past that I will give Mayor Wilson credit for all the well-deserved criticism that she's been receiving lately. I'll give her kudos for this, realizing, wait a minute, there are things that are bogging everything down, and we need to free that up, because that's the number one thing that we see on our text line when we talk about construction. The number of contractors who say, yeah, it takes forever because of all this bureaucracy, because of all, even things like still not having all your city workers back in office 5 days a week. There are decisions that are made that absolutely slow down the process.
I just know me. Me personally, I ain't met nobody that was waiting on a permit to get a patio, an extended patio, or an addition on their house, and they say, "No, G, I want it to be slow."
No, I said,
I want to make sure.
These are not decisions that we make. These are decisions that people in power make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're the results of, say, for example, budget cuts.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I just agree with the streamline.
Okay. For this next story, we need you to buckle up. The Mariners just suffered the worst loss in their 50-year history. In case you weren't paying attention, the team was annihilated 22-0 by Milwaukee last night.
I thought the Packers were playing the Seahawks yesterday.
I know. I was like, is that a typo? 22-0?
3 touchdowns.
What the heck happened there? But apparently things really unraveled in the 5th inning with the Mariners down 3-0. Dan Wilson left Bryce Miller in to face Christian Yelich. And then that dude hit a 3-run homer. Wilson later admitted, that decision was a mistake, but Milwaukee scored 9 runs in the 8th inning alone. Seattle committed some ugly errors. And just to put this into perspective, only 2 other teams in Major League history have ever lost a game 22-0.
Let me tell y'all, that was nasty, and it was nasty when it was at 11-0. I said, "Ooh, this is bad," and then they kept continuing, and then towards the end, pop fly to Julio. Julio stepped back, catches the ball, thinks it's 3 outs, throws the ball into the stands, and 2 runs score. I'm going to say all this. But see, here's the thing about baseball, and I know Nick knows this too. The thing about baseball, and this is why it's as nasty as that loss was, as nasty as the team has been playing, as nasty as Julio's not the superstar that he should have been, that we thought he'd be, and Cal Raleigh and all that, they are still 1 game back in the division, 3 games back of the wild card.
Dude, are we getting sunny side up today?
No, we're not getting sunny side up, but that's the facts. So what I'm saying is as nasty as the game was, and it was, they get to play again, and they're still only 1 game back because we got the Angels in the division, you got the A's in the division, and both of them teams are cheeks. You know what I mean? So therefore, the Mariners still got.
Okay, I know, and you know what? It's because they're lucky that other teams aren't doing great.
Yeah,
but
they're fortunate the American League is kind of weak as a whole, so they still have a shot. But that was ugly.
What is it going to take, though? I mean, what? Where I'm asking the same question. At what point do you say, leadership? This is a leadership problem?
Hey, man, sometimes it's all about timing to get luck. You know what it reminds me of, Ursula?
What's that?
It reminds me of, you got these houses on this block, right? But only a certain amount of people are allowed to buy these houses.
Oh, boy.
And so, therefore, because the competition is doing what it does, some people went out. But, hey, 22-0. Quick question. Here's one before you go. Should they keep Dan Wilson at the end of the season?
I think there's I think they're going to, but I think there's little support for that.
I don't know. The rumor's getting stronger.
Yeah,
they might let him go.
Yeah,
if they don't make the playoffs.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Do I think they should? No.
Okay, yeah, me too. I think you should give Dan Wilson another year, respectfully.
Another year?
Yeah, respectfully.
I think.
Do not.
I think this is his last
make it or break it year.
Yeah,
give him one
next
more
year.
shot.
Yeah, one more shot, no doubt. Because Cal has, Julio. Ooh. All right. Hey, coming up next here on the show, 9:47, the simple habit that can improve your odds of getting higher. But up next, 24/7 cameras. School zone speed cameras. You agree or disagree? A city here is doing that next. Gee Ursula.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
It's summertime and it's time to celebrate, but also time to understand that arrests for DUI is up during this time. DUI Heroes recommends do not drink and drive. But if you do make that mistake of drinking and driving, DUI Heroes is here to help you get your life back together, defend you, the person, the human, during the traumatizing and stressful time of what you're going through. That's why they call themselves DUI Heroes, because when the odds are stacked against you, you need a hero on your side. 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com.
At Subaru of Puyallup, customers say it's the little things that make a big difference. A team that listens, straightforward pricing, seamless service scheduling, having the exact car, and a stress-free experience. And now, through August 31st, take advantage of incredible financing on select new models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. For all the little things, choose Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundled your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road. Ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this,
What if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. President Trump, despite many legal challenges on construction of his ballroom at the White House, says he's continuing other projects at the complex. Today, Trump told reporters he's building a helipad on the complex and also slams one of the people who brought forth the lawsuit.
The woman has absolutely no standing, according to every analyst that I've seen, legal analyst. And it's a lawsuit that should have never been even allowed to be brought.
Trump was giving a tour of the White House to reporters this morning. Here in Washington, the family of a 27-year-old man who died while being restrained at a Federal Way hospital has filed a $50 million claim. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun reports.
The King County Medical Examiner ruled Davis's death at St. Francis Hospital a homicide. It found he died of a heart attack, which was brought on by being restrained face down for 25 minutes. The medical examiner says he had injuries to his neck, head, face, and wrists. In the tort claim, the family attorney is calling for a criminal investigation into potential manslaughter charges. They say Federal Way police used unnecessary and unreasonable force. The family's attorney also says they're renewing calls for the immediate release of body camera video of that incident.
A woman is recovering after being chased by a bear in Whatcom County over the weekend. She was hiking with her dog late Saturday morning when the bear charged at her. Janie Riopel was riding her horse nearby and later found the hiker and her husband. This is what she says.
She was all cut up, and we were like, well, are you okay? And she said she was just startled, and we said, well, what happened? She said that the bear was coming up the hill, up the brush, and she was running down the mountain, down the service road, and it crossed paths with her.
Washington Fish and Wildlife says there haven't been any other reports of bear activity, but officers will keep an eye out on the area. TikTok is laying off 75 employees in Bellevue this fall. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, the cuts are part of an operational restructuring at TikTok Shop, the company's e-commerce division. The layoffs are expected to happen sometime in October. TikTok previously cut 65 Bellevue jobs last year as the company adjusted its strategic priorities. And now for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, we have an update. Good news, the incident on southbound 405 at Northeast 44th Street in Renton has finally cleared. All lanes are open. Right now, it's just a 1-hour drive, not 2 hours from Linwood to Renton. So that's good news. Right now, we know that the 14-mile backup is looking more like 8 miles right now. It's still about an hour and 10 minutes from Linwood to Bellevue. I-5, the congestion is getting a little better. It's about an hour and 10 from Everett to Linwood. For your traffic report, this is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $588 on every window, $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. For your forecast, sunshine is on the way today. Highs will be close to 80. Right now, it's about 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476. Would love to hear your thoughts on this next thing we're going to talk about, because a whole lot of you believe that speeding is not a big deal. And 1/3 of you, according to a brand new AAA study, believe that No one actually drives the speed limit. Speeding, in fact, has become so common that many drivers consider going 10 miles per hour over the limit as completely acceptable and expected. What do you think?
Well, let me make people mad. I think that all speed limits across the country need to go 5 miles per hour slower. And the reason why I'm saying that is because daily we have constantly been talking about what's happening with e-bikes. We've been talking about e-scooters, all of the accidents, the increase in that. So we have more of that on the roads. We have more delivery drivers on the road. When the speed limit was made and these roads were made before, the e-bikes and e-scooters were not on the roads, right? So we are in a different time right now. And so I do believe that we need to go even slower than what we're doing. This whole idea of people going 10 miles per hour over, I've always, you know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous. So,
and so you're not one of them that's going 10 miles per hour. Do you generally adhere to the speed limit?
I generally go about 70 miles an hour, 65. No, I go about 65 miles an hour.
Yesterday, I noticed that I, at times, was just at 65, and I was so much slower than everybody else.
Yeah, as long as you're in the middle or right lane.
Yeah, and
you know
I
what I'm
was.
saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting. I mean, this is y'all know that I got my first ticket in a very, very long time this summer. Mm-hmm. And I will say that I have noticed that State Patrol is much more visible and stopping many more moving violations this summer.
You ain't never lied. State Patrol was doing speed deals at yesterday at 4:15 in the morning. I ain't never seen that. I was like, man.
And I know that between Memorial Day and Labor Day, those are some of the deadliest days on the roads. And so I know they always do these emphasis patrols. But the fact that I got picked up on one, not having to do with speeding, mind you, but going 10 miles per hour over the limit, I'm with you. Then bring down the limit, because people are always going to go at least 10 miles per hour. Over. And I'm curious, I mean, when do troopers actually pull you over for speeding? How egregious does it have to be? Do they give you leeway, 7 miles per hour, or does it just I would love to hear from our law enforcement.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, by the way, I'm sure there's some you guys are listening right now. Here's my opinion on where they're going to pull you over. I think that if you are going between 10, 12 over for sure. You're 12 plus over, you're getting pulled over. They might give you a little leeway at that 10. You know what I'm saying? You're going 10 miles an hour over, okay. But 12 plus, they're pulling you over. What do you think?
See, I want to hear from the troopers themselves. I think you're right. I think there's a grace. If it's 5 miles per hour,
cool.
Whatever.
5 is normal.
Yeah. But if I am seeing people 15, 20 miles more than everybody. I mean, and just zooming through, which just still stings me that for the stupidest thing, I get pulled over and I see these people going crazy out there. I'm still just like shaking my head over
one thing about this. Like, I don't think you're going to get pulled over at 12 miles an hour or necessarily even 15 if traffic is moving like that. The only, the dangerous person is the person who's going way faster. Because I-5, at the times that I drive it during the day, the average speed of traffic is 75 a lot of times.
Okay. Chef,
I mean, they would have to pull
15 over? Oh, yeah.
75 on I-5 is normal, early morning, midday.
15 over, and you're in that left lane area, you get got. Now, I want a state trooper to text in on that one. 15? You in trouble. All right, what's the Edmonds?
Okay, well, yeah. So in Edmonds, speaking of speeding, the city is cracking down. So every school zone camera in the city is now going to have, or very soon will have, 24-hour a day, 7 days a week cameras operating. And right now the cameras are only turned on for 90 minutes. split between school drop-off and pickup times, but by a 5-2 vote, the city council had decided that cameras near certain areas, Scriber Lake, Westgate, Chase Lake, and these are areas that do get a lot of cars. They say they should operate all hours of the day. Drivers who travel 7 miles over the speed limit will face $144 fines, and there will be a lot of them. The Herald reports that a 2-week sample of speeders found more than 5,300 drivers near Edmonds Woodway would have gotten tickets if the cameras had been on all the time. 5,300 drivers in 2 weeks. So drivers going 11 miles or more per hour over will get a $290 ticket. They are not playing games.
Okay, Ursula, 24/7 cameras in the school zone, Edmonds. What would you vote?
Wait, what was that? 20? How much?
24/7.
Okay, yeah. Would the responsible me say yes? I think that might be excessive. I think that's excessive. All day, every day, cracking down as if it's a school zone?
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Now, I think that's excessive.
This is easy. This is so easy. It's absolutely yes. 24/7. Here's why. When school's out, does that mean the school grounds are closed to kids? How many of you all have gone to ride your bikes at the school? How many of you guys gone up, maybe your school has a basketball court. You meet your friends up at the school. Like, how often, sometimes when school's not in session, do you see kids playing at the school? Mm-hmm. If the answer is no, I don't believe you. And if the answer is yes, then turn the cameras on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saving any lives by ticketing people at 10 o'clock at night in Edmonds by giving them a $144 fine at 10 p.m.? I mean, in the city's presentation, it was directly pitched to them. Edmonds is strapped for money.
Oh, yeah.
They said, hey, this is gonna generate $1 million in revenue.
Yeah.
If we do it.
So is it about the safety, or is it about how much money we can get when this change goes into effect?
I don't argue with you that like expanding the time should be sure 24/7.
Yeah, you got my answer.
I appreciate that. No,
I
it was
gave a
very clear.
legitimate reason.
Yeah, no, you did.
And nobody's going to be like, well, no, I never see kids.
Which is
at
why
the school.
I said the responsible me should say, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I've got a law enforcement who says, I usually won't stop someone unless they're going 12 miles per hour over. The lower the limit, the lower my minimum is. School zones, which are 20, and Golden Gardens is 15, so I won't stop for under 7 miles per hour over those limits.
Huh. He said 12?
12.
Huh.
Sounds like they're talking city streets.
Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we need to talk. There's a simple habit that can improve your odds of getting hired. With the job market today, we all better stick around for this one. Next, Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO Newsradio app, or you watch us on YouTube, thank you.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life can get hectic. That's why Progressive provides claim support 24/7, 365 days a year, all the time. But not like in a desperate way. We're not just waiting online for you to talk to us or waiting by the phone. I mean, we are waiting by the phone, but not like staring at it. Well, now I am. I'm staring at it. The point is, Progressive Claim Support is here for you 24/7 in a totally chill, normal way. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
Paid political announcement.
Hey, Seattle. Did you know your groceries could be getting more expensive? That's right. Seattle City Hall is considering an ordinance that could put loyalty rewards, digital coupons, personal discounts, fuel rewards, student discounts, and other promotions on the chopping block. As the cost of living continues to climb, Seattleites rely on grocery store rewards programs to help stretch their household budgets. Now, City Hall wants to take these away. The mayor's proposed fair pricing ordinance could have the exact opposite outcome and make everyday living more expensive for those already struggling to get by. Protect Seattle Savings is a coalition dedicated to defending the everyday savings that Seattle families rely on by working with the mayor's office to improve the proposal and keep costs down. If you care about keeping groceries affordable, visit ProtectSeattleSavings.com to learn more and join the cause. Again, visit ProtectSeattleSavings.com now to learn more.
Paid for by Protect Seattle Savings.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, AdvancedHair.com.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we are always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier Heating and Cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Okay, Nick. Okay,
I'm in the mood now.
Getting those yacht rock vibes again. Feeding off last night.
Okay. I got something else for you guys to disagree with me on. But don't worry, I got a line in the sand on this one. There is one very simple thing that you can do that will dramatically improve your odds of getting hired. You don't have to optimize your resume. You don't have to get any new credentials or hire an interview coach or get a really nice haircut. And it will cost you nothing.
I love it already. Okay.
If you simply reply to emails from employers within 5 to 10 minutes, you increase your chances of getting hired by 30%. This is research, y'all, covered by the Wall Street Journal. Researchers found that people associate quick responses with competence. Even hiring managers who didn't expect immediate reply still preferred candidates who responded faster. Now, I would love, you guys are listening, text in 888-973-5476. Do you agree or disagree with this Wall Street Journal research? Ursula, what you got?
I want to see more details of the research.
Of course you do.
But I will say, just looking at this right now, it completely makes sense. Yes. Mm-hmm. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yep.
As you like to say. Mm-hmm. And if you're lackadaisical about responding, then I would imagine that you, as someone, you just wouldn't look like someone who's eager to work for me or to work with my company. So I would say that if I have to cajole you for a response, which I think is just rude anyway, it drives me crazy when people don't respond to emails or text messages because I think it's rude.
Okay. You guys know where I'm going to sit on this. You know I agree with this, as in the words of Ursula, 1,000%. But let me switch it around and ask everyone. Mm-hmm. It's Saturday.
Yes.
You and your significant other, you guys are sitting there like, hey, we need this for our house. Hey, reach out on our website. Send them, see what they say. Send them a message or send a few messages to some different people. And then on Saturday, one company gets right back to you.
Oh, I'm impressed.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So if you're saying that you or anyone that says the first person, not necessarily saying they got the best price, not saying they got the best experience or talent, but the fact that they hit you up first, that they're going to be in the running. I truly believe this. And I know, Ursula, we have all these studies that tell people, hey, you know what? When you're off, you're off. You know, you have perfect business hours. Like, yo, have you guys seen the job market?
Yes.
Have you seen what AI is doing?
Yes.
So
yes, no, you're absolutely right. You and I are on the same page. I would love to hear from you. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line 888-973-5476. I just think in general, though, if someone, and I get it, all of our emails are filled with garbage. Mm-hmm. So it does make it harder to respond right away. Mm-hmm. But if you're applying for a job, that would be one of the things I'm looking for any kind of alert. I am looking for any kind of sign of movement if I'm interested in a job. Right. And I will make sure that I am following through as quickly as possible, because just know that you are competing with a whole bunch of people for the same one position.
I'm refreshed all day long.
Yes.
Now, we both agree, and that's probably not good for the show. So, Nick, do you agree with us too, or?
I would say I'm on that side, yeah, overall.
You got an old soul. I mean, like, right now the competition is fierce out here. And I'm wondering when the Wall Street Journal is going to do research on work from home. But
you're so funny. Okay, well, I think they have done it. It says if you simply reply to emails within 5 to 10 minutes, I mean, that alone can increase your chances. Because again, you're the first one that they're seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I want to hear. I got one other question though.
What do you got?
Let's just put it to text messages too. How quickly do you think people should respond? Text versus email.
Well, I think that we all understand that it's faster with text as opposed to email. I think we can all agree with that.
Yes.
That's one. But two, I think Text messages. This is the thing I don't understand. Like, if you're doing something, that's okay. That's one thing. I don't understand the purposeful delay.
My God. That's the part that drives me nuts.
I don't get that.
Well, especially younger people. When my boys were in the dating mode, they would even tell me, like, yeah, you
got to play it cool and wait it out a little bit. Don't want to seem too eager, right?
What the heck? Stop.
Some girls are like that. They're like, oh
girls.
They'll receive it as being eager sometimes. So guys, they got to be careful if they really like the person,
See?
But I don't like the games either.
It's
I think for text, anything in between 24 hours is acceptable. Email might take a couple of days.
If there's a young fella that's listening right now, here's my advice to you. Respond in a prompt way. And if you're worried about them thinking that you are too thirsty or too eager, that is a beautiful thing. You want them to go away.
Yes, exactly.
That means naturally they have removed themselves. You'll be thankful later.
Yes. Good advice.
Yeah. All right, Ursula. We got a guest coming on to the show, Steve Strand, Executive Director of the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. And we're going to ask him about the 2025 crime report and crime being down. Next, Gee Ursula.
Hey, I know something you probably haven't done in a while. Climb into your crawl space or your attic. Yeah, me neither. Mike Salk here. And most homeowners avoid those areas for good reason. But it's important to check on them regularly, especially here in the Northwest, where groundwater can wreak havoc and many homes lack the proper insulation in these spaces. So when it's hot in the summer, your house gets even hotter. And guess what? When it's cold in the winter, your house gets even colder because you don't have enough insulation. The good news, you don't have to crawl into those dingy areas, because Crawl Pros will do it. They go where you don't want to. That's what they did at my house. They found a little rodent intrusion and they found the insulation problem. So yeah, they can help you get it all fixed just like they did with me. And if you need any work done, local utility companies offer rebates that could save you thousands on your project. Don't just assume that your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
John Curley here. A few years back, we inherited a hot tub when we moved into a new house. I didn't know anything about hot tubs, but they left a long note about Seattle Hot Tub Company, how great they are, and how friendly the guy is. He even brings treats for your dog. I couldn't wait for my hot tub to need service. And sure enough, our previous owner of the house was absolutely right. The best. In fact, I even looked them up online and found out they are #1 when it comes to customer satisfaction. Seattle Hot Tub, locally owned. They back up everything they sell with excellent service. Seattle Hot Tub, swim spas, cold plunges are American made. They service everything they carry. Even if you didn't buy a hot tub from them, they'll still service it. A hot tub isn't a weekend impulse either. It's something your whole family can enjoy for years. You want a local team when you need them for parts and service or advice. No pop-up tent, no disappearing act, just real people who know what they're doing. Visit SeattleHotTub.com. Go see them in person. You'll feel the difference. That's SeattleHotTub.com.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. and Canada have 3 more days to negotiate a new trade deal. President Trump issuing the pause on tariffs set to begin today on Canadian imports, including a 50% hike on steel, cheese, and autos. ABC's Alex Perche says those tariffs could face legal hurdles.
This is a different provision, a different legal provision that they're using to basically justify this set of tariffs. This is something they're saying it's Section 338 of a 1930s era trade law that's never been used before. Trade analysts have actually described it as, quote, arguably dead law. So several said that it would almost immediately be challenged if these tariffs actually took effect.
In Massachusetts, it's day 16 for the Lindsay Clancy trial. The mother charged with the killing of her 3 children says she suffered from postpartum psychosis. Defense attorneys argue she did not receive adequate medical treatment. Severe storms on the march in the Midwest, with areas hit hard by earlier flooding in the path again. This is ABC News. In Philadelphia, the hunt intensifying for a masked man who chases joggers.
Chilling video released by investigators shows a man wearing a disturbing doll face mask.
He's actively engaged in running up to people. It looks like he's attempting to scare or antagonize them.
Police now scouring surveillance video in the area, believing he's threatened or chased at least a half a dozen people. Police say the suspect is seen using a cell phone, appearing to film the terrifying encounters. Intelligence units now scouring social media.
ABC's Rhiannon Alley. Toothbrushes, bags of chips, and cat food cans dropping from the sky. Amazon expanding drone deliveries to millions of customers.
In communities across 7 states, Amazon drones can be seen hovering over homes, lowering their payload of household items, and then flying off to make their next delivery. Amazon Prime Air plans to serve nearly 500 cities and towns by the end of this year, dropping off packages within 60 minutes of the order being placed.
ABC's Jim Ryan, Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A recall effort targeting Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is gaining momentum. So, could voters actually get a chance to remove her from office? We'll tell you all about it next. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. Southbound 405 off-ramp to Northeast 6th Street in Bellevue remains blocked due to that collision earlier this morning. We're still seeing heavy delays through downtown Bellevue. It's 50 minutes right now from Linwood to Bellevue. It's 1 hour from Everett to Bellevue. Over on southbound 405, Bellevue to Renton is 20 minutes. On southbound I-5, Everett to Seattle is 1 hour. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A judge will decide later this month whether the effort to recall Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson can move forward. The latest from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull.
The hearing is set for Monday, August 31st in King County Court. Petitioner Melinda Jacobson says she and her husband filed the paperwork because they've lost confidence in Wilson's handling of public safety.
I've been thinking about this for a while, but the icing on the cake, so to speak, was when she did a forced resignation of Chief Barnes, and that did it.
After the hearing, the judge will decide whether the allegations legally qualify for a recall. If the petition moves forward, supporters would need roughly 70,000 valid signatures to get a recall election on the ballot. Wilson's office has said the recall effort does not appear to have merit. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
A Seattle council member wants tougher rules to make city streets safer. Rob Saka is proposing the Safer Streets Act. It's a package of bills designed to speed up Seattle's goal of eliminating traffic deaths and serious injuries by 2030. The plan would require more safety measures and faster action after deadly crashes. The council will get its first briefing tomorrow. Highway 99 in Snohomish County could see some big changes down the road.
With added bike lanes and easier crossings for pedestrians. For now, it's just a study, but WashDOT wants your input, and today is the last day to do that online. And this is part of the state's Complete Streets program, which is trying to make roads like Highway 99 safer for pedestrians and cyclists and easier to manage. For years now, people have complained about trying to cross 99. If WashDOT moves forward, crossing the road could get easier with better lighting, slower speed limits, and better crosswalks.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reporting. The Tacoma Police Department is launching an 18-month pilot program aimed at strengthening relationships between police and the community. The Tacoma Public Safety Partnership will bring community members together with police leadership for monthly meetings, include case studies, presentations, and open discussions. Police Chief Patty Jackson says the goal is greater transparency and understanding. For your forecast on this Wednesday morning, sunshine, highs again today close to 80. Right now, it's about 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Grateful that you all are hanging out with us today. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. I love what we're going to be talking about coming up at 10:30. The question is, what does nice mean? What does it mean when someone is nice, or you like it when you are surrounded by nice people? And there was someone who was ranting about being 50 years old and still feeling the struggle with the need to be liked. So we're going to have that conversation coming up at 9:30. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
As we mentioned in our top stories, crime is down dramatically across Washington. Violent crime fell nearly 14% last year. Murders dropped 22%. Property crime down 21%. So the big question is why? Because as you know, Washington still has the fewest police officers per capita in the entire country. So what is actually driving these numbers? Steve Strand with the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs joins us now on the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Well, thank you for joining us again. So what do you think? What factors are contributing to this drop in crime?
Well, thank you. And thanks for having me on. Anyone who tells you that there's one single reason, and as we hear elected officials sort of looking to take credit for this, anyone who points to one thing doesn't know what they're talking about. It's a lot of factors. Of course it is. I think that just makes common sense. I would also lay the Washington state reductions against nationwide trends, and we're seeing many of the same things nationwide. They're a little more pronounced nationwide than they are here in Washington. We're going down, and we're going through some reductions, not as much as the country is seeing, unfortunately. And that's one of the things we want to keep an eye on is, will we accelerate and keep that good momentum going as we move forward? And then finally, just to remind all of you, you all know this. I mean, you're with me on this, but these are numbers. That's a good thing. We should celebrate that. But these are also victims. These are human beings, and anyone who is a victim of any kind of crime, including what is sometimes called minor crimes, property crimes, burglary, car theft, it's incredibly impactful. And so, while we celebrate numbers, data going in a good direction, we have to really keep our eye on the ball, of course, on the fact that fewer victims is a good thing. We want even fewer.
Steve, we don't talk to you enough, man. But hey, I got a theory that I said earlier today, and I said this was one of the many factors that are attributed to the lower crime. My theory is that technology has changed criminal behavior. Cameras, business cameras, license plate readers, cell phones, ring all everywhere. How much credit do you think technology deserves when it comes to the declining of crime?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. I think it's part of it. It is certainly, and you didn't say it was all of it. You said it was part of it. I think it is part of it. My spouse and I just got back from a trip to Europe. We'd been there about 3 years ago as well. And what is really remarkable, if any of your listeners have been to Europe or a lot of different countries around the world, is I didn't see a lot of squad cars. What I did see was kiosks everywhere on every other street corner with cameras sticking up. And they were very visible. You know, they made it very clear that these were cameras for public safety. Now, in the United States, we're different than other countries. We have a different constitution, different expectations of privacy. I get it. But the point is, technology has been a significant change in the way that agencies are able to enforce the law. And it's very controversial. I mean, again, we've been talking about it now for the last several weeks. A lot of strong feelings about it. Privacy advocates have valid points. I mean, a lot of police officers like myself, I care about privacy too. But with proper guardrails built in, auditing, I think that it is an incredibly powerful tool. And if we're talking about license plate readers, which are government run and government sanctioned cameras, as opposed to private cameras, ring cameras, security cameras, they both matter. And that's sort of what you're referring to, Gee, between cell phones, between private security and ring cameras and those things like license plate readers, they have made a significant difference. And part of that, I think, and you're referring to that, is people are aware of the fact that if they do something, it may or may not, you know, the likelihood is higher that somebody may be catching that on video. If you look at any high profile incident, you know, within hours, you'll see that there's video out there and people become aware of that. Some will say, well, that's ubiquitous surveillance and isn't that scary? I don't like that. But remember it's this mix of privately owned, publicly owned, and people who are choosing to use video in generally a positive way. I think it has been a significant part of this, a little bit in the way maybe people change their behavior, but certainly significantly in identifying and apprehending suspects. If you look at that Pierce County case from just a couple of days ago, victim by the name of Diaz, 17-year-old kid, just a stupid, tragic crime where he was shot and killed over a $10 necklace, and he gave the necklace to the suspect. And he was chased down. Tremendous work by Pierce County Sheriff's Office, FBI, Mexican authorities. And they got this guy from Mexico and brought him back. And part of that, not the whole thing, but part of it was surveillance cameras, not publicly owned. But I think they were privately owned surveillance cameras because Pierce County doesn't have ALPRs. But that was part of the solution. And of course, I know you've been talking about, and a lot of folks have been talking about, the decisions on cameras in the city of Seattle as related to the bite of Seattle and you know, the mayor's direction on that. What that is proving to me, and sort of that the public opinion of that, as seen in some of these polls that have been cited recently, is that, you know, loud people at meetings and social media is not real life. People, when they're in public, have an expectation of a certain level of privacy, but they also have an expectation of public safety. And how do we balance those two things? That's a pretty critical part of this conversation. So I gave you a lot of information, Gee. I hope that answers your question. But I think technology, you're spot on, is part of it. But it's part of an array of things that hopefully are sending us in the right direction. And now our challenge is, how do we make good public policy decisions, including about things like technology, to keep that momentum going and keep people safe.
This is Steve Strand, the executive director of the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs, here on the show with us. And I just want to say, Steve, and I know that you do listen to the show from time to time, Gee and I are totally with you on the camera use, and exactly what you said. There's a way to balance the use and still, we believe, address the privacy concerns while also having those tools available. So just back to the crime numbers going down, there are going to be some people who just don't believe it. Steve in downtown Seattle says, I think the crime numbers are heavily skewed by people not reporting as many crimes because of the repeated lack of response from police. Can you address that? Because that's something that we hear quite often.
Sure, and it's a great point. And I would tell you, since we sent these numbers out, we do it every year. We've been doing it since 1980. It's a function that the state assigns to us to compile these statistics, send them into the FBI. So it's actually a sort of an official function that we do here at the Sheriffs and Chiefs Association. When we sent them out, I got some of the same feedback where people said, well, it's underreported. People aren't reporting anymore because they don't feel like anything will happen. I understand that. There's also this dissonance between a number, as I mentioned, and data, and people's personal sense of security, their personal sense of public safety. And people will point to the fact, and this is true of a lot of folks, I know a neighbor or a family member or even themselves who have been a victim of crime, and they don't want to hear about data and numbers going down. They want to hear about public safety and how it's being improved, because their experience differs from this overall message of, well, crime is going down. And it comes back to what we talked about. Victims are what matter at the end of the day. Is there underreporting? Certainly anecdotally, I've heard the same thing. We're going to measure that in two different ways. One is, remember that crime statistics that we're talking about, these are actually, it's a measure of police reports. That's what this is. Somebody has to call the police, report it. The police department then takes it, investigates the crime, and reports it to us. So it's really a measure of police reports. There's two other ways to measure this. One is and they're not perfect, but the National Retail Federation just last year in October published data where about 2/3 of their members of the National Retail Federation, in other words, retailers and stores, didn't report to their local agencies for a variety of reasons. And part of it was they may feel that there wasn't going to be appropriate follow-up because of the law within their state. Sometimes it was not appropriate follow-up because of the agency they were dealing with. And sometimes it just wasn't something that they wanted to spend their staff time on. So 2/3 were not reported, according to the National Retail Federation. That speaks to what you just said. Mm-hmm. The second is that the FBI publishes a separate set of data every year called the National Victimization Survey. It isn't police reports. They actually just call up thousands of people and say, have you been a victim of crime? And if so, what kind? So that is going to reflect victimization as opposed to police reports. And I'm going to be very interested in what that victimization survey, when it comes out later this year, says, because if there's a big gap, that's going to point to what you just said. Now, if I may, frustration and a level of, not reporting because I feel like nothing will happen. How do we improve that? We improve that through a lot of things, including making sure people feel like they're being heard and valued, and somebody comes, takes a report, and fully investigates that. And I'm sorry to go back to staffing, but that's why one of the reasons why staffing is so important for law enforcement, continue to be last in the nation. Part of that is because for people to feel safe and be safe, they have to feel like, even if it's something that the law enforcement agency is very busy, that they should take it seriously, and they should hold people accountable for, who committed that crime. It values them as victims, and it says very loudly. And I think about things like somebody vandalizes your mailbox, somebody breaks into your shed. Again, a lot of people view that as so minor, but it's actually incredibly violating. Somebody broke into my truck years ago, 25 years ago. I've been a police officer for 30 plus years. I've been in law enforcement, public safety for 40 years. I remember like yesterday when somebody broke into my truck. I went to a baseball game. They broke my window. They stole a wallet out of my truck. And I still remember every bit about it. I remember calling the police department. They said, well, go online and report it. And I didn't feel good about that. And so when I experienced that 25 years ago as a victim, it shook my whole life. And there was so much that I had to, and that was a pretty minor crime. So the point I'm making is that having the ability for law enforcement to go out and provide good quality service and follow-up for all types of crime is an essential part of that. And that leads to increased reporting, more investment in public safety from the community, That's going to improve safety over time. So this system has to be built out. While the numbers are getting better, they can get even better. We can keep that momentum going if we can provide that gap there where people feel like if I report this, nothing will happen. We have to fix that.
You listen to the voice of Steve Strand, Executive Director of the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs, here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, this is what I'm nervous of, because I know people are thinking it, and I'm nervous of cities and or counties across the country coming up with this. But let's specifically talk about Washington. The state of Washington has the least amount of officers per capita compared to anyone in the United States. However, crime is continuing to drop here along with everyone else across the country.
Yep.
So what is to stop someone from saying, we have the least amount of police officers per capita here in the state. Why do we need more officers then? Can you explain that one?
Sure. And, again, I'm going to acknowledge I'm coming from the perspective of law enforcement. So the fact is, and I expect that will happen. People will say, well, gee, we're still 51st in the nation in staffing, but yet crime is going down. What's the problem? Problem solved. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
We still have to continue to improve staffing. Part of it is what I just said. People need to feel valued and that somebody will come out, and agencies have to have the staffing to work more cases, to provide closure for victims, and for people not to feel like they're not being taken seriously because of that lack of follow-up from the agency, because they don't have the resources. The second part is because, and it's very important, one of my greatest frustrations right now is that we are intervening, particularly with younger kids, way too late. Look at car thefts in this state. Car thefts spiked massively, 21, 22, 23. We were talking about it all the time. They have nosedived more recently. There's a lot of reasons for that, but unfortunately, one of the reasons, I'm hearing this consistently from chiefs and sheriffs, is that those, let's call them kids, 14, 15-year-olds that were out in stolen cars were caught. They weren't, nothing happened. They were just sent back home. They were emboldened. They got involved in worse and worse crimes, drive-bys, and eventually very violent crimes, sometimes homicides. And now they're in juvenile rehabilitation, or unfortunately being incarcerated. That's not the right way to handle this. We have to intervene sooner. And frankly, law enforcement is part of that. School resource officers, full investigations, higher clearance rates for homicides, so that the message is sent that if you use a gun, if you kill someone, if you shoot at someone, you're going to get caught, you're going to go in, and it sends the message and it starts to build on itself. We're not doing that in this state. You probably heard that it takes 5 gun possession cases for a juvenile to actually go into detention. The King County prosecutors advocated, I agree, that needs to be lower. Representative David Hackney has advocated for that to go down to 2. In the name of compassion, we're not intervening early enough. So to answer your question, G, I think the more officers doesn't equal more people going to jail. It equals more intervention and prevention and opportunities for closure and victims being served and intervening, so before people get involved in the more serious crimes. Again, I've been doing this for 40 years. It may seem counterintuitive because people want to default to this. More cops equals more people in prison and more people being charged. The data doesn't show that. The data shows that more cops equals less crime because there's more prevention, more intervention, and very importantly, if you want accountability in law enforcement, if there's things that law enforcement does they don't like, more supervision, more training equals better accountability. That's why staffing matters.
Okay, we only have about 45 seconds, Steve, so I'm sorry to put it, but why are we still lowest per capita?
Mm-hmm. Because we've become so accustomed to it. It's been so many years. It's been about 15 years we've been last in the nation. And so people really don't even know anymore what it's like to have, again, somebody show up when you have a relatively minor crime and you want the law enforcement agency to do something about it, to get those high clearance rates. We become accustomed to it. It's going to take us a long time to start to build out of this. The bill from 2 years ago, a year and a half now ago, some of that money is starting to go out. It's not going to be a game changer in terms of staffing. It will take us some time, but as communities start to build that up, we use technology, as you mentioned, Gee, in smart ways with guardrails, and we start to build that staffing back up. Your question is, why is this? Because we become accustomed to it. And it's really going to take, sort of that constant pressure, particularly on local governments and counties and the state, to say we're all in this together. And it's going to take 5-10 years to get to the point where we need to be. But that commitment and not whipsawing back and forth, chasing the headline today and actually committing to this over time on a bipartisan way. It's what it's going to take.
Steve Strand with the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. We sure appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Thank you.
Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, somebody wrote in and said, I'm 50 years old, but why do I struggle with the need to be liked? Ursula's going to explain this. We'll do it next. Gee and Ursula.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Reutin from the Gee and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the Gee and Ursula YouTube channel.
I've been telling you that I have been driving the 2026 Subaru Forester Touring Hybrid from Carter Subaru. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is my first hybrid, and I love the savings at the gas pump. I just filled up yesterday, and I'm just noticing that I am getting a lot more days of driving in before I have to go back to the gas station, which is a good thing, right? Right now, Carter Subaru has more than 800 vehicles in stock, including the 2026 Subaru Outback at just 1.9% APR. Now, you know that my last car was a Subaru Outback that I bought from Carter Subaru back in 2016. It still drives really well, and that is the second car that we got from there. We also have a Subaru Forester from 2012 that we got at Carter Subaru. Why do we keep going back to that same dealership? It's because of the people and the great selection, but it really boils down to the people. They treat us like family, so we are going to continue to be repeat customers. You can find and see the difference for yourself. You visit Carter Subaru in Ballard, Shoreline, or cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 8/31/26.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The search is on for a missing California woman and it now turned into a criminal investigation. ABC's Alex Stone in California says police are now indicating something bad happened to the woman.
Chantel Brooks, known as Cece, went missing over a month ago. The 36-year-old was seen leaving her job as a desk clerk at a hotel on July 17th, and then she disappeared. Initially, police said it was just a missing persons case, but now they believe her disappearance did involve foul play. Dozens of search warrants have been served. Her brother says they're in the dark and want to know what police know.
Like, hold on, what's going on? Is there like new information that we didn't find out about?
Fairfield police are not saying why they now believe foul play was involved. Her family says they're mad and frustrated. Alex Stone, ABC News.
A gunman is still on the run after a deadly shooting in Seattle's First Hill neighborhood.
Police say the victim was found inside an apartment near 8th and Marion after someone called 911 around 8 last night. Officers arrived and found a man in his mid-20s suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. They tried to save him until Seattle fire medics got there, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. No arrests as far as we know, and police have not released a description of the shooter. It's also not clear what led to the gunfire and whether the suspect and victim knew each other. Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
More than 14,000 Uber Eats workers are set to receive a share of nearly $4.4 million under a settlement with Seattle's Office of Labor Standards. The city says Uber Eats failed to consistently provide required minimum payments, including for certain canceled orders. The settlement includes back pay, interest, damages, and penalties. It follows a separate $1.4 million settlement with Uber Eats just last year. Another round of layoffs is coming to TikTok's Bellevue workforce. According to Washington's Employment Security Department, TikTok Shop plans to eliminate 75 local positions in October. The company had previously cut dozens of Bellevue jobs just last year. Amazon is expanding drone delivery every day to everyday items to millions of potential customers.
In communities across 7 states, Amazon drones can be seen hovering over homes, lowering their payload of household items and then flying off to make their next delivery. Amazon Prime Air plans to serve nearly 500 cities and towns by the end of this year, dropping off packages within 60 minutes of the order being placed.
Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. We are still seeing heavy delays through downtown Bellevue. There's a crash on southbound 405. This is right next to the off-ramp on 6th Street. Right now, it's about 45 minutes from Linwood to Bellevue, an hour from Everett to Bellevue on southbound 405. Bellevue to Renton is about 15 minutes, and on I-5, Everett to Seattle is just under an hour. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss firework nights all summer presented by T-Mobile. The next show is August 21st as the Mariners take on the Cubs. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. For your forecast on this Wednesday morning, sunshine and highs near 80. Right now, it's 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Coming up at 10:47, Gee takes the wheel. And what do you have up your sleeve today, Gee?
We got to have a conversation about the Mariners. Yo, let's talk. I want to see what you think. Julio, Cal, Dan Wilson, 22-0, tied for the worst shutout since 1887.
Yeah. Are you focusing on the fact that they're still potentially in the running, or it's just been an abysmal season?
I mean, let's talk this out.
Yes. Okay, so we'll have that conversation coming up, but we need your text messages. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text message line is 888-973-5476. But right now, let's talk about how much we do is really aimed at making others feel comfortable with us or making other people feel happy. Because there is a column in The Guardian, and a 50-year-old woman admits that she is still struggling at her age with the need to be liked. And she says yes when she really wants to say no. She agrees with people when she really doesn't agree, smiles when she's angry, even softens herself and tries to make herself likable so other people won't feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And then eventually she says she realizes there is a difference between being kind and just being a people pleaser.
Yeah. So, I couldn't wait to talk about this because downstairs this morning, I was I sat back and was really thinking about this topic. And I think at 50 right now, one of two things. One, I think at 50, not only do I think I'm kinder than I was when I was 40, I try my best to make an effort to be even out of my way, try to be kind in the world. And then the second thing is this is about, being kind is one thing, but are you trying to make people happy, people pleaser? And I would say, I think that it's more today than it ever was. So ultimately, I'm in this category, Ursula. I think I am still, it's not, and by the way, it's not necessarily being light. I'm just trying to make sure, hey, I don't want any problems, any type of contention. We're good. If we had any contention with us in the past or whatever, hey, we're good. I'm trying to be better about those things. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I do believe that I'm better than I was, and I do believe I kind of want to be liked more as well.
And do you feel like that has been a positive move for you? Because
Yes.
I used to be too much of a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I used to try to avoid confrontation. And now at this juncture of my life, I want to elevate others around me, and I'm really about uplifting others. But if I feel like they're doing me wrong, or if they're doing something wrong to others, I will have zero problem with actually saying something. Yeah. And I really will, even if it means some kind of confrontation. I always want to find a way to resolve it, but it used to be to the point where I was way too much of a people pleaser. And it's like, wait a minute, that's not good for your health.
So about that, I say way less today because if we're being transparent, I think some people in corporate America have more freedom to say things than others. I just try my best to, and I think in the world as well. Like, hey, you know what? In traffic, somebody cuts me off and does something. And okay, that was close. You know what I mean? And I just try to move on. So
you feel like you have more to lose right now.
What? You just nailed it so much. Like yesterday, you remember the other day when we were talking about, I think last week, we were talking about voting for president. Mm-hmm. And I made the comment, I said, I'm not voting for Kamala, and I'm not voting for, I said, man, I'm voting for a white man, 2028, because we can't take a chance. Remember that?
Yes,
and they cut it, and they put it on social media.
Oh, boy.
And so I had a couple folks, they were black, they got on there and called me the COON word, right?
Oh, boy.
They called me that. The OG would have, like I looked at the dude's profile, I would have verbally destroyed him.
Mm-hmm.
I let it go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to be better about that.
Does it give you more peace?
Because not in the moment.
Yes.
But not in the moment. It does not. Oh, it's so hard. But today, the fact that I'm telling you this story and the fact that I did not respond, it does give me more peace. Like there's a few grifters out there that I haven't responded to yet. It has given me peace to not respond. Not in the moment, but today to know that, you know what? I took the high road. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gives me more peace. And then you get to sit back and say, no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Well, as we're talking about people pleasing.
Yeah.
So the other day when I was telling y'all about the people I met, the so-called celebs, and I do the air quotes because most people don't know who they are, but I mentioned someone named Daniel Renee, who's quite controversial, actually.
Is he?
And truth be known, I had actually blocked him on my social media because I thought, man, this guy's too much drama.
Oh, wow.
But when I encountered him, I was like, wow, he's really nice in person.
Uh-huh.
And Chef was asking, what does it mean when someone's nice? And I guess because I'd seen him so often being so controversial on social media and just being so full of himself, I felt like he was kind. He stopped to say, hello, and he was very personable, stopped to invite me to this event. And so to me, it was like, wow, he was being nice. What does it mean, though, to be nice? And is there such a thing as too nice?
I think that the people or the person that you don't like on social media, and there's someone that you've never met them before in person, but you can't stand them. I think that social media sometimes makes us all worse than we really are. I think in real life, we are a little bit more decent than we are on social media. Can you agree with that one?
Overall, yes. On social media, I'm almost too much myself. The times I look at myself on social media and the faces I'm making and oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I think you get what you see, but I do absolutely, when you have that much of a following, I think there is a tendency to do what gets you the more clicks. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he genuinely came across as very nice.
I even think some of these grifters out here, right? I think they're different in real life than they are on social media, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm thinking like, there's no way in real life you could be that hateful. Well, that's possible. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, it's time for me to take the wheel. It's time for us to have a real discussion about the Mariners. We'll do that next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions. D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
At Subaru of Puyallup, customers say it's the little things that make a big difference. A team that listens, straightforward pricing, seamless service scheduling, having the exact car, and a stress-free experience. And now, through August 31st, take advantage of incredible financing on select new models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. For all the little things, choose Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we're always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Riereka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, LLC, and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Nearly 1 in 4 people killed on the road in Washington weren't driving. Pedestrians on our roads are incredibly vulnerable, whether they're facing drunk, drugged, drowsy, or distracted drivers. Pedestrians are defenseless on our streets. That's why Davis Law Group fights for pedestrian accident victims and their loved ones after a crash. Davis Law Group delivers. So if you or a loved one have been injured, call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit DavisLawGroupSeattle.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 2 tickets to see Anthony Hamilton with Tony, live under the stars at the Tulalip Amphitheater, Thursday, September 10th. Go to mynorthwest.com/win for contest rules and your chance to win.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Others doubted us. Others didn't believe. But for us,
we did not care.
We showed the world what this city is all about.
Congratulations, your Seahawks, Super Bowl 60 champion.
This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
You know what, Nick? I like it when you go into the bag and get some new stuff, you know?
Throw some new stuff out.
But tomorrow, can we have some fun? I was thinking, what if we did like TV shows?
Little sitcom music in there?
Yeah.
I saw that text too with the Cheers theme.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There we go. Okay. Ursula, we need to talk. And we need to talk about these Mariners right now. And as you all know, yesterday was really bad. It was 22-0. Nope, not like Nick said, it wasn't a football game. It was a baseball game. They lost a baseball game. It was so bad, it tied for the worst shutout in Major League Baseball history. The last time this happened was 1887, y'all. 1887. And if it wasn't embarrassing enough, Julio, he catches a fly ball, and for a second, he thought it was 3 outs. So he throws the ball into the stands. Well, a run scores on the mistake, and another runner advances and scores on the next pitch. So, yes, that moment was bad. But at the same time, we got to have this conversation. Julio has not been playing to the expectation. They thought he was going to be a superstar. We thought he was going to be a superstar. He's 25 years old. He's the face of the franchise. Cal Raleigh, same thing. We need more from Cal. We need more Cal, like we need more cowbell. That was funny. But the insane part, and I said it earlier, is the Mariners are still alive. They're 4 games back. Earlier I said 1 game back. Oops, my bad. They're 4 games back in the division. They're 3 games back from the wild card. So the discussion is this. This is free for all. Everybody jump in. What's up with the Mariners? What needs to happen? Ursula?
Before I answer that, one question I have is, is it a successful season if they make it into the playoffs, even though they've had games like this embarrassing 22-0 annihilation?
Great question. Yes.
It's still a successful season because I have heard more people grumbling about the Mariners. Now, before anyone goes after me and says you're just a fair weather fan, I can't even say that I'm that.
No. Hold on. Anybody wants to say that, your husband is a diehard.
Yeah, he's a diehard. Yeah. So he watches all the time, and to hear him just sighing each and every time. And he was the one who broke the news to me because I was running around doing errands last night. And he was like, when I came home, he said, yeah, they had the worst loss in history.
Yeah.
I'm like, what more can, and I think what hurts the most is the expectation that we had going into the season after what was it was their best season. They got the furthest, they got the closest to the World Series. And so it's like, well, we have all this talent.
Yep.
And they can only improve upon that. And as it turns out, the player who was having the best season last year is having the worst season this year. And I understand there's an injury, but you asked the question, what needs to happen?
Yeah.
I think that there needs to be a leadership change.
Woo!
And I think it needs to be sooner rather than later. And I say that because ultimately, if you do have all the pieces in place, minus the injuries, and people are just not performing up to their abilities, but they've got contracts. I mean, at some point, you've got to ask, were some of these losses based on bad decisions?
Right.
And I'm just leaning on other people who tell me and chirp in my ear about it. And the sentiment that I'm hearing more and more is, yeah, we need a leadership change.
Well, look, first of all, I just want to say, I disagree. I think you finish whatever this year, playoffs or no playoffs, we come back in the next year, hey, let's see what's happening. That's number one. Number two, to Nick's point earlier, that is being talked about a lot, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is really becoming a deal. The reason why I think that there needs to be a pass and another year next year, because, look, Cal and Julio have had a very underwhelming season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there could be arguments made about moves, things that Dan Wilson has done in game. Okay, that could be argued. But I just think here's a team who in 50 seasons, Nick, how many times have they made the playoffs total?
I would say like 5 or 6 times.
You know what I'm saying?
You can maybe count on your one hand.
Yeah, right? So, it's been that bad. So the fact that the Mariners last year went the furthest that they've ever gone in Mariner history last year, I think there needs to be some grace. Nick, what you think, bruh?
I'm with you, man. But to the point of our expectations and goals going into this year, if you were to say just making the playoffs at the start of the season would have been a success for the season, I think people would disagree. But at this point, just making the playoffs, I think, would be a big breaking point for this team just because of how low of a point they're at right now. Now, I hope that Dan Wilson's able to keep his job for next season, but the rumor's getting stronger and stronger that if they don't make the playoffs, that he might be gone. And we mentioned this earlier, that maybe it's DePoto that should be on the hook. And he would be next if next year doesn't work out with a new manager.
Well, we'll weigh in because we appreciate your feedback. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Okay, Ursula, we got a guest in studio. The friends of Denny Blaine. Yeah, we're talking Denny Blaine again. Yes, well, the friends of Denny Blaine are going to join us next to have that discussion.
Yeah, it's going back as we had the folks who are
pro kicking them out.
Yes, exactly. So now we've got the other side,
right,
because we've heard that there are all sorts of lewd acts going on again, despite all the action that the city has taken or not taken. So we're going to hear the other side of the story coming up.
All right, do that next, Gee Ursula.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix it.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power exclusively. Available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed.
The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community, not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In California, the trial against Meta continuing today following yesterday's opening statements. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, facing a multi-state lawsuit arguing that the platforms are designed to be addictive and have negative impacts on the mental health of teens and children. Allegations Meta denies. More from ABC's Kana Whitworth.
This is an operation that lawyers described as hook, hold, harvest, and hide, claiming the company also harvested data and hid the truth from the public. They call the former Facebook employee to the stand as well, who testified that teens are being exposed to violent and graphic content that was 100 to 400 times higher than what Meta is reporting publicly.
In Alaska, race results coming in from yesterday's primary races. President Trump's choice in a key Senate race, winning the Republican primary ahead of November elections. U.S. Representative Mary Peltola won the Democratic primary. President Trump ordering a pause on a new round of tariffs on Canadian goods for 3 days so talks can continue. This is ABC News. In Los Angeles, it was worth the wait after a famous deli got a surprise letter in the mail and a check.
Langer's Deli is an institution here in L.A. Its staff was shocked when they got a letter from Roberto Andrade of Texas, who said he was visiting L.A. from El Paso. He ate at Langer's Deli and wasn't sure if he remembered to leave a tip for the wait staff. Wanting to make sure his gratitude was recognized, he mailed a $50 tip with a letter to the restaurant's owners. The letter reading, "My first job was as a busboy and a waiter." He went on to say he's sending $50 in case he forgot to give a tip. Langer's Deli says a tip was delivered to his server. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Extreme heat keeping its grip on states in the west and much of the south and southwest. Real temperatures reaching into the triple digits. That's leading to health concerns along with taxing power grids. And in the city of Griffith, Indiana, still in the dark 7 days after storms knocked out power to the region. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A recall effort targeting Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is going to court. Could voters actually get a chance to remove her from office? We'll tell you next. But first, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic with Lori Hardy.
Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO News Radio app. Boy, a 17-minute slowdown. Linwood into Seattle, still a tough drive at 43 minutes. Linwood to Bellevue, though, an easy 29-minute drive. If you're heading from Renton to Bellevue, I'm still seeing a lot of slowing. Just a 17-minute drive, though. 405 southbound. You're going to be a little slow as you approach I-5 in South Center. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A judge will decide later this month whether the effort to recall Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson can move forward. The latest from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull.
The hearing is set for Monday, August 31st in King County Court. Petitioner Melinda Jacobson says she and her husband filed the paperwork because they've lost confidence in Wilson's handling of public safety.
I've been thinking about this for a while, but the icing on the cake, so to speak, was when she did a forced resignation of Chief Barnes, and that did it.
After the hearing, the judge will decide whether the allegations legally qualify for a recall. If the petition moves forward, supporters would need roughly 70,000 valid signatures to get a recall election on the ballot. Wilson's office has said the recall effort does not appear to have merit. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
Tacoma police have made a third arrest in connection with a deadly shooting on North 30th Street. Police say an adult man was found shot and killed in the 2100 block of North 30th early on August 7th. 2 other suspects had already been arrested, including a juvenile and another adult. The latest suspect, an adult man, was arrested Tuesday and booked into Pierce County Jail on suspicion of first-degree murder. The investigation is ongoing. Seattle City Council member Rob Saka is proposing a new traffic safety package. The Safer Streets Act would require proven safety measures, give city engineers more authority, and speed up responses after fatal crashes. The legislation is expected to be finalized this week. Meanwhile, big changes could be coming to Highway 99 in Snohomish County, and WashDOT wants to hear what you think.
We're talking about 7 miles that could see bike lanes and more from Linwood going north toward Everett through unincorporated Snohomish County. WashDOT estimates about 125,000 people live within a half mile of that stretch that could see those improvements. According to the report, the total funding for the study was close to $2 million. The project itself could cost up to almost $800 million.
Voting closes today. That was KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reporting. Drivers in Edmonds are about to face round-the-clock enforcement in school zones. The Everett Herald reports the City Council has approved operating 5 speed cameras at 4 schools 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The cameras previously operated only during school hours. Drivers going 7 miles per hour or more over the speed limit can receive a $144 ticket. Now for your forecast on this Wednesday, we've got sunshine and lots of clouds coming through the area over Seattle, but it'll clear in the next 15 minutes. The highs today will be about 79. Right now, we're sitting at 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. You're not going to hear Gee's voice this hour because he had to leave a little bit early to take care of some dentistry that was unexpected. So that's always a lot of fun. If you have been through that, you know what that's like. So good luck, Gee. Coming up at 11:30, we will still do Agree to Disagree. And, of course, we always love your input on our show. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. Let's get to it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
This is a story that just keeps popping back up on our show. After years of fighting over Seattle's Denny Blaine Park, a judge ruled last month that nudity remains legal. But that same judge also found that illegal sexual activity had become a public nuisance and ordered the city to do more to address it. Now, neighbors say, despite the judge's order, that still isn't happening. And we had their spokesperson, Lee Keller, join us on the show last week. This is just part of what she said.
It's not a safe environment, regardless of how lovely a neighborhood it is. Nobody wants to be in a neighborhood in any part of any city where people are running around, trespassing, and having sex on their front yard. Nobody wants to be in a place where trespassing is okay, where property destruction is allowed, where laws are not being enforced, and trespassing is completely out of control. I mean, it's public, it's full-on sex right there. And when people complain about it, they're called the agitators.
Well, we have a guest here in studio now to defend the park and the reputation of those who use it. Jesse Miranda is with Friends of Denny Blaine, and he joins us now in studio. Thank you so much for joining us, first of all. I'll welcome you back, because we've spoken with you before. So, first of all, the neighbors are saying this issue was really not about the nudity. It was the public sex. We heard Lee Keller mention numerous times public masturbation and other behavior that has been spilling into the neighborhood and just in pure sight at the park. How do you respond to that?
A lot of people love this park, and a lot of people have a lot of passions about this park. And so as a group with Friends of Denny Blaine, we don't have a paid spokesperson come to speak to those in the community about what we're doing. We have the users of the park go out and speak. And so I'm one of those users. And when I go to the park, I don't see that at all. I'm not saying that things don't happen, but I really have to put into context what the neighbors mean by lewd. And having been in that court case, they consider things like calisthenics lewd, push-ups lewd. And it's important to note that being naked is not illegal in Seattle, and picnicking is not lewd. So I really call into question what they mean when they say an increase in sexual activity or lewd behavior, because from what I've seen, a lot of what they're providing doesn't show very much evidence that it is that as prevalent as they say.
Have you seen the videos that have been posted on their site? I mean, so
yeah, actually, so I heard Lee on this TV show, on this radio show, talk about new photos, and so I said, well, let me see these new photos, and I noticed that all of them except for one were from before the court. The court, was in session, and there was one that happened at the protest because people were filming, that the neighbors are, looky-loos and filming, and they were protesting the cameras, so people were flipping the cameras off. I will say what I did notice. I noticed that these cameras, I love Seattle. It's one of my favorite cities in the world, and it's we have a good amount of diversity. It is majority white. And I will tell you right now, looking at those pictures, I was shocked at how much melanin their cameras can detect. It was like white people are an endangered species in Seattle, it felt. And I was confused, and I said, well, surely this can't be, it can't just be all brown people that they're taking pictures of. And I saw maybe one white person, and then I scroll down and I see a Black Lives Matter protest, and on top it says they're bringing drugs to the park. And I thought, first off, this is not at Denny Blaine. What are they insinuating? So
what you're saying, what I'm hearing you say is that what the neighbors are claiming is happening at the park, you're not seeing, and you're a frequent park goer.
I'm a frequent park goer, and I'm not seeing it.
I mean, and if there were these activities that are being stated, these are activities that you would not want to happen to jeopardize the park. Would that be correct?
Yeah, so we are a stewardship organization, a Parks Friends of group, and we are here to ensure that landscaping is maintained, that people respect the park. There was a protest that occurred about 2 weeks ago, and we did send a board member there to take notes. We believe in educating. That works at other beaches like this all throughout North America. So we go out and we educate. And interestingly enough, as this is all transpiring, we're trying to make sure that nothing is escalated. And one of the neighbors comes out and runs up to one of our board members and calls them by name and shouts at them saying, "You don't like to be taped. You don't like to be taped," with the phone in her face, and then chanting something about the Constitution and the First Amendment and something weird. And they just add to the chaos. We are working with the city to come up with real plans for the future of this park, and they are complaining. They're not coming up with any solutions. So we're just trying to figure out what we can do to help make this a sustainable park for everyone.
So what is happening with the fence? Because one of the things we heard was that the fence that was put up so that there's part where the nudity doesn't happen, but the other side of the fence. And I've been to the park a couple of times. I think we shared with you the last time you were on the show. So closer to the water, the view would not be noticeable to someone pulling up in the parking lot, for example, if people are nude or and as you mentioned, it's not illegal. But what is happening to that fence that was supposed to be a barrier?
Yeah, the fence is a temporary. Hopefully, we're thinking of what ways we can create a barrier that will actually celebrate the diversity of our park, whether it be greenery, something beautiful. The fence went up because the neighbor tried to build a play structure. The judge. They didn't get that. They sued the city. The city had to put something up real quick, and you have an ugly fence up that dropped the neighbor's property values by 10%. And, then they take it to court, try to close the beach. That didn't happen. And honestly, for people who really hate a nude beach, they do get caught an awful lot with their pants down. I'm just going to say it right there.
What do you mean by that?
I say, they're in a situation where they're their own undoing. We need to come up with real solutions that beautify, that celebrate this beach and the community around it. Come up with real solutions that involve the community and celebrate the historicity of Washington State's first queer historic site. And I'm not hearing any solutions coming from that side. I'm hearing a lot of complaints and no doing. And so doing and coming up with a plan, that's the harder work, and that's what we're here for.
This is Jesse Miranda with Friends of Denny Blaine. This has been a controversy now stirring for many, many years, but it seems like it's kind of come to a head with, the judge's order and now these neighbors saying that the changes are not happening, or that people who use the park, some people who use the park, are not abiding by what they should be doing following this order. We're getting a lot of text messages from listeners who are dubious of your basically stories of what is actually happening. So would you say that there is no public open sex happening at this park where, a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old walking with their parent would be able to see that?
I'm saying that in this park, like a lot of parks in Seattle, we have a lot of issues that come with being an urban environment. Mm-hmm. And we need to mitigate that. We need to educate and post the abatement plan and post the fence. We've done a great job at doing that. And it's shown that these reports have decreased. That's not saying, it hasn't ever happened. I've not seen it happen. Mm-hmm. I'm a frequent user of the park, so I'm not. I'm just saying I haven't seen it happen. And it's important to note that this, they want the park restored to its original use, which they quote as 1950. And for me, as a person of color, that's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying that someone would believe that. And it harkens back to the fact that on this beach, people in the 1930s, they were trying to get people of color to not even be able to picnic there. Mm-hmm. This is a long-standing class war, and this is just a new iteration of it. They need a person of color on their PR team because they're doing an awful job and they don't represent the values of the city.
You are listening to Jesse Miranda with the Friends of Denny Blaine. So specifically, you said they're not coming up with solutions. What are your solutions as a group? What are your solutions to make it? I'll be honest, Jesse. If I have young kids, I would be very uncomfortable if I'm going by the park or want to use the park and there's a couple having sex or there is someone who is publicly fondling themselves. And I'm using a different word.
Yeah.
There are some things that I appreciate nudity, and I've been there to the park where I thought it was a beautiful thing. But there are certain things that would make me feel like I'm not safe.
Yeah, and they make me, when I hear about these things, it does make me feel sad that such a place that I go to, because it's my safe space, because I can't go to a nudist resort outside of the city because I'm a person of color. I might get yelled at or thrown slurs. I go here for safety, and I want other people to feel that this is a safe space. We have advocated installing signage to ensure that sexual activity, that people know what the guidelines are for the park. These signs were rejected amazingly because they acknowledged that nudism was allowed to take place at this park, and then a lawsuit came. So now we're trying to figure out what can we do. And so we've been working with the city for the past few years on what barriers we can have installed, how we can have beach ambassadors like they have at other nude beaches, legitimate nude beaches throughout North America, and just formalizing that, working with park rangers to educate people. We just want to ensure that our historic park continues to be a safe place for people, for all people, not just LGBT people.
Jesse, so when we had the conversation with Lee, I was pretty blown away by the number of people who responded in support of the park. And something that stuck out to me was several trans people who wrote in and said, this is the one place I can go to a beach and take my shirt off and feel safe. I think that's a valuable space. You're right. It's a historic space. And I think it's fair to say that a nude beach, whether it's a largely gay or queer population that uses it or a straight population, will tend to have a small minority of people who engage in sexual activity there. That's likely to occur. At the same time, this sort of thing happens at Golden Gardens. Now, if I see that happening at Golden Gardens, I would call the police. And I guess two things. When other park goers see something like that happen, do they call police? And if so, what has SPD's response been?
It's important to note that there have been instances where neighbors have called police on Black people dancing lewd. So we're working to mitigate that and understand, okay, like what situations get escalated.
No. I mean, hey, you're at the park and you see somebody who's doing something that is clearly illegal, public sex, right? You tell them to knock it off. Yeah. They don't leave. Do other park goers police? And if people don't knock it off, like are police call or 911 calls being made from park goers? Have you had any interactions with police? Do they respond to those? Are they responsive?
I can say that as a group, Friends of Denny Blaine, we encourage people to call emergency services, 911, and report any illegal and unlawful behavior. Once again, this is a safe space. It's a place for everybody. People shouldn't feel like they can't come to our park.
And just with the little bit of remaining time that we have left, do you think this can remain a nude beach without continuing this ongoing tension with the neighbors? I mean, do you ever foresee a time when both sides can live peacefully together? And what would that take?
I think it takes looking towards the future. It's time that we stop complaining and continuing a long-lasting class war that has been continuing since 1930, and we bury the hatchet and we talk to each other about solutions that work and talk about what the future of Denny Blaine looks like, not who we're going to kick out.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us here. I know I can tell that this is a very emotional situation for you and those who are very, very passionate about this particular park. It is a beautiful park. I will say that and I've only been there 2 times, but the 2 times that I've been there, I have not seen anything. But I also understand that I was there in the daytime.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, like many other parks, I don't think it's unique to Denny Blaine that there are things that go on at night that I may not want to see.
Yeah. You go to Europe and you have parks like this all the time, and it's just living in the urban environment. People do things at many parks at night.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, still ahead on the Gee and Ursula Show, we agree to disagree. And Chef, it's going to be you, me, and Spike. So what are we going to do? Yeah, so Spike's going to join us. What are we going to talk about?
Ooh. Well, first of all, I want to talk about whether people are really nice. Celebrities, especially. I got to talk about
you got to bring
There's
that
something
back.
else I got on my sleeve for you.
Okay, sounds good. We'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to bring home one of the nation's top awards in our industry, the prestigious National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news coverage. One award is the result of our team's hard work every single day, and none of it would be possible without you. You trust us with important information every time you choose us. Whether you listen over the air, on the KIRO Newsradio app, or you watch us on YouTube, thank you.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're finally off the clock after a long day, dishes put away, kids asleep, feet kicked up, heartburn. Don't let heartburn take over your hard-earned moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Alka-Seltzer effervescent tablets begin neutralizing stomach acid in seconds, so you can get back to your one more episode marathon. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Use as directed.
For nearly 20 years, I've talked with local homeowners on the radio about mortgages and making smart financial decisions. Hi, I'm Steve Tytler, owner of Best Mortgage, and after September, I'm retiring from radio advertising. So if you're over 62 and you've been thinking about a reverse mortgage, now's a good time to call to work directly with me. 425-649-6000. A reverse mortgage may help eliminate your mortgage payment, pay off debts, and create more room in your monthly budget. It's not right for everyone, and that's why honest advice really matters. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, I will personally explain how it works, review your options, and tell you plainly whether it makes sense for you. No pressure, just straight answers from someone who's been helping Northwest families for decades. Fall is coming, and if a reverse mortgage has been on your mind, let's talk soon. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC at MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows you want to get away, but not like too away. You crave the unknown, but also charcuterie boards with 4 types of cheese. And that's exactly why you bought an RV and bundled it with Progressive, because 24/7 protection is one luxury you'll never have to give up. So go ahead, explore the wilderness, all from the comfort of your zero-gravity camp chair. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at cars4kids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Another Navy ship experienced operational issues. The USS Benfold, a Navy destroyer, lost power in the South China Sea. ABC News contributor and former Defense Department official Mick Mulroy says the Benfold is one of many.
A lot of these ships are going past their deployment schedule, and they set these schedules based on maintenance. So the longer they're out to sea, no matter how good the captain and crew are, they're still going to face significant maintenance over time. That's why they are designed to return to their home port and be refurbished and the maintenance done on them prior to going back out on another mission.
Spokane County is pulling the plug for now on a new large data center. The story from KIRO News Radio's Tim Hull.
County commissioners voted unanimously this week to stop accepting or processing applications for large load data centers through December 15th. The pause gives the county time to work on new zoning rules. A draft ordinance calls for noise and vibration studies, limits on water use, and emergency response plans reviewed by local fire districts. Residents have raised concerns about how much water and electricity the massive facilities require. The proposal now goes to the County Planning Commission with public hearings expected before commissioners make any permanent changes. Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
Stay out of the water at Houghton Beach and Juanita Beach in Kirkland. Public Health Seattle and King County say bacteria levels exceeded safe thresholds. The swimming areas will remain closed for at least a week. County crews will test the water again next week. The rest of both parks remain open. A woman is recovering after being chased by a bear in Whatcom County over the weekend. She was hiking with her dog late Saturday morning when the bear charged at her. Luckily, she wasn't bitten. Janie Riopol was riding her horse nearby and later found the hiker and her husband.
She was all cut up, and we were like, well, are you okay? And she said she was just startled, and we said, well, what happened? She said that the bear was coming up the hill, up the brush, and she was running down the mountain, down the service road, and it crossed paths with her.
Washington Fish and Wildlife say there have not been any other reports of bear activity, but officers will keep out an eye in the area. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic with Lori Hardy.
Traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Now just a 5-minute slowdown. Linwood to Seattle, 28-minute drive. Linwood to Bellevue down to 22 minutes, and Renton to Bellevue, 18 minutes. Now 16 is pretty slow. 18 actually is slow eastbound as you head through Auburn. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
We've got beautiful sunshine today, highs close to 80. Right now, it's about 69 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee had to step out for a dental appointment. It was an emergency one.
Hope he doesn't speed on the way.
I know. Well, no, Gee's not a speeder. He is not a speeder.
I heard that.
But I think we'll be talking about speeding here in just a second. We do agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Oh, man, we got guests in the house. I love having company over. All right, let's start out.
You guys cleaned up because company was coming over. This is great.
Yeah, we did. All right, let's start here in Seattle. The city's shelling out $750,000 to settle a lawsuit filed by a man who tripped over exposed rebar. So I got this from King 5. They report that the 67-year-old man, he's walking around his car. He's on Capitol Hill, and he walks around his car into a bike lane and trips over a piece of rebar that's sticking out of the concrete sidewalk into the bike lane. It's about 1.5 inch piece left over from a construction project. Had not been removed when the project was completed. It had been bent down slightly, so it wasn't going to, pop somebody's tire. Because of that fall, he fractured his back in 3 places, serious head injury, and now the city's paying out huge bucks. Spike, I'm just going to ask a very basic question.
Mm-hmm.
Should you expect an obstruction-free environment when you're walking around in the city?
To quote the great Pete Townsend, I call that a bargain. The best I ever had. How much? $750,000?
$750,000.
It's a screaming deal for the city. I'm expecting $5 million. This guy's got multiple back fractures.
Yeah.
Serious head injury.
Yeah.
On a construction site that was completed. And
but not a construction, just a small piece of.
That's a construction site.
Okay.
I mean, we're here's the thing. When there's a job finished and there's red tape removed or yellow tape removed, barricades are brought down, the city is finished with this project. This bar had been tamped down with a hammer.
Yes.
Right? As G would call it, what's a half cheek in that? Right?
Good, dude.
Right?
Yes.
They have cheeked that job.
Yes.
That's somebody in the city's construction division.
Yes.
Deciding that just
contractor.
If you sub to a contractor from the city, they still represent you as the city of Seattle.
Right.
And if you decide to half cheek it and just tamp this thing down instead of bringing out, it's not that hard. It's a 5-minute job. Bring out a grinder, cut that rebar down to 0. Because, as a guy who's faster approaching 67 than anybody else in this room, yes, I expect an obstruction-free environment in my city. This city had, $500 million or close to $1 billion dedicated to settle lawsuits in the state budget. Right, $500 million or more.
And we're blowing through budgets with the settlements that are going on right now statewide.
Well, statewide. But
yes.
Gee, I think I'm a huge fan of the show. First-time caller.
Appreciate that.
Huge fan, first-time caller. G pointed out a couple days ago, I think it was, that all the settlements, it might have been you, Ursula, I apologize, are all for things that happened in the past. Whether it's the way that the youth punishment division.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, all these settlements that we're finding coming out are from things that happened 15, 20 years ago. I'm not justifying the actions of a bygone era, but standards have improved. Mm-hmm. That's called evolution. To your point about how much money the city pays out. Just $750,000 for a guy who's got a 67-year-old, that's permanent damage to a back and a head. Trust me. Warranty's expired on a 67-year-old. I know.
I would say that Spike basically said it all. And if I were that person who tripped over the rebar that was exposed on a project that was supposed to be completed and I had serious injuries, you better by golly wow that I would be looking for an attorney and I would be looking for deep pockets, and that happens to be the city. Again, do you expect everything to be obstruction free? No. But if it's something that could have been avoided,
right? And
yes.
Roots lift sidewalks, right? I get it. There are natural occurrences in our environment that we should be aware of.
Yes.
But when the city has done a job and put a construction crew on the streets, subcontracted or not, and they don't finish the job, they leave exposed rebar. That's a dangerous situation. That's negligence. That's half cheeking it.
I think Chef's about to tell us this is overreach and a litigious society.
Here's what I'll tell you. I'm really uncomfortable with this conversation because anything I say about this can be taken as dismissing this man's pain and the legitimacy of his injury. I'm not. I take it very, very seriously. Unfortunately, in life, accidents happen. And I don't think that there is liability for all accidents. Like, this is an 1.5 inch piece of rebar. Spike, you brought up the very tree roots, sidewalks.
Yeah.
We see uneven architecture all over the place, right? And if we're going to assign financial liability for every single 1.5 inch piece of failing infrastructure, there's no limit to the liability. And I speak of this from a little bit of personal experience. My younger brother, he had severe disabilities. He attended a very unique program, a summer camp, after school camp, that took on the most disabled, hardest kids in the region. No other camp would take these kids, right? And it was stewarded and cared for by two incredible, loving women who poured their hearts into this and those kids. They had some helpers, right? And unfortunately, one day, a young man was being transferred in his wheelchair. He fell out of his wheelchair and he hit his head. And that young man passed away. The family decided to sue the organization because obviously their son died on their watch. And now that organization is no longer around to serve any family. I am not saying that family necessarily did the wrong thing, but there are real consequences when we assign liability. And unfortunately, the signposts are out for the city of Seattle that we are open for business. We are open for suing. We're never taking a case to trial. If we can get in a mediation room, there's going to be a check that's cut.
But that's always a financial decision, though, mediation and a settlement, because if this guy had gone to trial, the city then incurs the cost of legal defense.
He could have lost.
They could have lost. Cost of legal defense is stacked on top of the...
Have you ever heard of a case going to trial in Seattle for a lawsuit against the city?
See, I mean, and I got to just say something. You gave a specific example, and it's very heartbreaking that organization that was doing great work had to shut down. But we were talking about the city. Pastor Frank just texted in and said the contractor is responsible, but so is the city inspector who signs off on the job. And that is true as well. And I'm sorry.
No, there was
if my head is cracked
made,
open because something that was done sloppily.
A decision was made to tamp that down instead of cutting that off. That's somebody looking at it goes, that's good enough.
This is a losing issue for me. I got to move on.
But you're right, though. We're in a litigious society, oftentimes to the detriment of our own well-being.
All right, moving on. Actually, a listener question. We were talking about speeding earlier. Gee asserted that, you're going to get pulled over if you're doing 12 over the speed limit. I said, hey, if everyone's driving 15, I doubt she'll get pulled over. Listener texts in, says, my 17-year-old was taught to go the common speed. We often call that, moving with the flow of
traffic. Yep.
But that's often 10 to 15 miles over the speed limit. Ursula, is that okay? You're shaking your head.
When my sons were learning how to drive, I told them, drive the speed limit, the posted speed limit. That's the safest way to go. Drive the posted speed. Now, do they do that? My understanding is that they take it as a suggestion.
Sure.
But that's what I'm going to tell them to do. And because I know human nature is that you're always going to go a little bit over.
Right.
But yeah, anymore, I think people speed like crazy. And if you're going with the flow of traffic, I think that's just too many people.
Hold on, my lawyer.
Driving way too fast.
My lawyer's texting me right now, telling me not to answer this question.
Oh, whoops.
Hey, Spike, I think we can all agree, first of all, 17-year-old, yeah, go ahead and drive in the right lane. Is it okay to move at the speed of traffic if people are going 10, 15 over?
If here's the deal.
Adults?
Why do we have speeding laws? Why do we have them? Basic question. Why do we have speeding laws?
Safety.
For safety.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And in some places, revenue generation.
Don't flip ahead. You're getting to the end of the question here. What's the benefit to the city of these speed laws? They're to keep us safe, of course, but they're also to generate revenue. We got that story about the speed, the school zone. We're going to dig a little deeper to that on our show as well. Yep. Edmonds, the third city now to do that. I think the flow of traffic is what is the common accepted form of safety in this. I mean, you talk about telling your kids to do the speed limit. They're obstructing traffic for the most part because everyone does 10 to 15 over. That's the flow of traffic. The cop's job is to keep the roads safe. If a car is making the flow of traffic speed, averaging everybody, if it's 75, if it's 72, and oftentimes it is, that's what's safest for people. And cops are there to keep people who are doing 85 and chase them down, not ticket me for doing 12 over, allegedly, hypothetically, as per my attorney's agreement.
Thank you.
Said.
My pleasure. I love this job.
Spike, I love it when you just pop in. Thank you.
Me too.
We'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show. We'll hear your text messages and our words to live by.
Charlie Harger.
I want to be a watchdog.
From Seattle's Morning News.
Somebody who is not accepting from the government at face value what they're telling you. I might not even be necessarily against a politician, but if I see an issue or a policy that I think are worthy of a conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's Morning News.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
At Carrier, we know that a comfortable home is a happy one. Whether it's with innovative breakthroughs in heating and cooling efficiency, or with different ways to control your home's temperature and air quality, we are always imagining new ways to make your home totally comfortable.
Turn to the experts and let your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer improve your home's comfort and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find an expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Paid political announcement.
If you care about keeping groceries affordable, listen up. Seattle City Hall is considering an ordinance that could put grocery discounts, rewards, and coupons, otherwise known as your everyday savings, at risk. As the cost of living continues to climb, Seattleites rely on grocery store rewards programs to help stretch their household budgets. Now, City Hall wants to take these away. The mayor's proposed fair pricing ordinance could have the exact opposite outcome and make everyday living more expensive for those already struggling to get by. Protect Seattle Savings is a coalition dedicated to defending the everyday savings that Seattle families rely on. We're working with the mayor's office to improve the proposal and keep costs down, but we could use your help. If you care about keeping groceries affordable, visit ProtectSeattleSavings.com to learn more and join the cause. Again, visit ProtectSeattleSavings.com now to learn more.
Paid for by Protect Seattle Savings.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
You know that feeling on a Friday night after a long week and all you want to do is just get away from everything? What if you didn't have to go anywhere? John Curley here. Seattle Hot Tub Company carries hot tubs, swim spas, and cold plunges for every lifestyle. A hot tub for those quiet evenings under the stars, swim spa for the morning workout, and cold plunge for recovery. All American-made products, different sizes, different features, different price points. Always clearly marked. There's no games and no high-pressure sales. Find them online at seattlehottub.com.
And just like that, we are at the end of the Wednesday edition of the Gee and Ursula Show. And Chef G is out, so I'm going to let you start with the text messages.
Hold on, I don't have News Boss open.
I know.
I'm just kidding. All right, let's start with speeding at Edmonds, turning on school zone cameras 24/7. Mark in Nisqually says, stop calling them school zones then. As for speeding on the freeway, just try doing the speed limit, even the HOV lane. We are anti-left lane campers and frequently see people tailgating in the left lane and zooming around into the HOV.
People are just crazy. People are just crazy out there. Joe in the 253 says, the speed limit is a joke. Everyone drives 75 on the highway, right past state troopers and everything. And nobody gets pulled over.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No one cares about the speed limit. I'm just telling you, this has not been a good summer for me.
I will tell you, state patrol enforcement is noticeably different.
It's
depending
very different
on what freeway you're on.
Remember,
405.
Okay.
Linwood to Bellevue. I was driving that a couple months going to rehab. Every day, 2 or 3. Like always, people pulled over. I drive I-5 every day. Maybe see them twice a week.
I'm just going to say that in 30 years, I had not been pulled over, and I've never had a ticket on my record. And this summer, I've been pulled over twice.
Ursula,
I don't think it's my driving is that much worse.
I know we were doing text. I have to ask you why this bothers you so much, because like we were talking with Angela last week about the kid in class who is suffering mental anguish because they got an A-. You get one ticket. Like, that's still an impeccable record.
Yeah.
Why does it bother you so much?
Well, because, the first one I thought was bogus. The second one, legit. And I just need to do better. I couldn't even be mad at the trooper. I'm just like, yep. But when I see people going nuts on the freeway, and I'm like, I'm your worst problem.
Yes.
But yet it's like, yeah, I'll accept it.
It's like watching a billionaire park their yacht in the Bahamas and pay no taxes, and meanwhile, your small business gets audited. Like, show us the receipt for your napkins.
Okay, on the debate about Denny Blaine Park, the tiny nudist park that is the focus of a big fight in Seattle, Kevin in Black Diamond says, stop with the class war. This is a really frustrating interview to listen to. Parks for everyone. Stop trying or claim it and excuse inappropriate behavior. It's unbelievable.
Kevin, are you alleging that the most expensive home for sale in Seattle as of a few months ago has nothing to do with the amount of public attention given to this?
Well, and let's continue on that front, which is that the King County assessor put a value amount on how much homes are going down in value because of what's going on at this park, allegedly.
A public official came out and said a nuisance by this home caused the actual assessor?
Yes.
Have they ever done that for someone who had a homeless encampment down the street from them?
I don't recall, but I don't want to be wrong.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. The Mariners got demolished yesterday, worse than any other team since the 1800s. Oh, Kevin in Seattle says, I feel bad about the Mariners, but most of all for Rick Riz, who just announced he will be stepping away and retiring after 41 years. Rick, gosh, what a joy to listen to that man.
And I bet if we got Rick on to talk about even yesterday's game, he'd find a positive in all of it. I need to be more like Rick.
He probably would.
Okay, Seattle paying $775,000 after this guy trips on rebar and is seriously injured. Harry says someone did not do their job. A city employee or inspector missed this detail. Their employer is responsible, period.
Somebody agrees with me. Seems like there are no accidents anymore. It's case by case, but everyone expects to be paid now.
That was Kevin in Seattle.
Oh, well, they only expect to be paid if that accident happens somewhere where there's a government that has public coffers available to pay out from.
More things to think about. Are we nice for the sake of people pleasing? Colleen in Tacoma said something I think is so good. When I need to have a conversation about something important, I don't look at it as a confrontation. I look at it as a carefrontation. I believe all relationships are deepened by the communication we have. And if I'm not willing to communicate with you, that means I don't care enough about you to have that discussion. Love that.
Where does my cowardice come in to play in this? Because, we say we people please, but a lot of us don't have difficult conversations because they're difficult, right? And they make us uncomfortable. You don't even know what it's like to even fathom that idea.
Well, I used to. That's what I was saying. I have evolved. I used to be the one who was the people pleaser.
Yeah.
And now I would say probably in this building, I've probably been the one that's had the more difficult conversations. I don't know if
This is true. This is absolutely true.
Yeah.
You want Ursula in your company meetings for this reason.
Or not.
There are no elephants that will not be named.
Okay. I love this. I love this quote for our words to live by. Life itself is a privilege, but to live life to the fullest, that is a choice.
Amen.
I hope all of you have a wonderful day today. Nick, thank you for the music. We're going to do TV shows.
Yeah, I think so tomorrow, but I got one thing to say before.
Take us out.
So, it's natural for most, even when in their later years, to be liked or wanted by their family, friends, and other peers. So, if searching for the keys to keep that reputation strong, don't play waiting games with text or you won't be liked for very long. So there's a certain baseball team that's playing waiting games now with 22 reasons for why their likeness isn't claimed. Maybe if they don't leave their playoff texts on red, we'll give them back that perfect Rick Riz likability.
Oh, I love it. Like I said, Rick is going to see something positive out of this, and I hope that he has the great ending that he deserves in terms of being the voice of the Mariners.
There's still time.
Yes, there is still time. Nick, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jake and Spike are coming up next. Have a great day.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
I've lived here almost my entire life.
Seattle's morning news host, Charlie Harger.
I love Seattle. I love that I'm able to raise my children here.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's Morning News.
So when I see something that I think might need some attention, that's me pointing out areas of improvement. That is not me saying that Seattle is somehow bad.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Hey, I know something you probably haven't done in a while. Climb into your crawl space or your attic. Yeah, me neither. Mike Salk here. And most homeowners avoid those areas for good reason. But it's important to check on them regularly, especially here in the Northwest, where groundwater can wreak havoc and many homes lack the proper insulation in these spaces. So when it's hot in the summer, your house gets even hotter. And guess what? When it's cold in the winter, your house gets even colder because you don't have enough insulation. The good news, you don't have to crawl into those dingy areas, because Crawl Pros will do it. They go where you don't want to. That's what they did at my house. They found a little rodent intrusion and they found the insulation problem. So yeah, they can help you get it all fixed just like they did with me. And if you need any work done, local utility companies offer rebates that could save you thousands on your project. Don't just assume that your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan.